catching crooked bureaucrats, crooked politicians that are engaging in public theft, taking your money and putting it in their pocket. They belong in a jail cell, and that's exactly what I'll do as your next Auditor of State. But here's the other thing. The Auditor of State has the opportunity to go into any local government entity, any state government entity, and conduct what's called a performance audit. Does that sound familiar to you? Does it sound like what President Trump and Elon Musk are doing with Doge? We can go into any government entity and find out where it's not performing the way it should. Is it overstaffed? Are they using antiquated technology, stupid processes? We can lean Six Sigma that stuff and get these state agencies and these local agencies serving you and doing more with less. That's exactly what I'm going to do as your next state auditor. But we're here to talk about a man who I am very excited that you all are going to get to meet. If you haven't met him already, you're going to see what I mean in just a second. I think many of you know Vivek's story. A guy from Southwest Ohio, skinny kid with a funny name that had some teachers that believed in him, that saw a lot of potential in this young man, taught him to believe in himself. He went on to get a great public school education here in Ohio, to graduate from a Catholic high school down in Southwest Ohio, to go on to get a prestigious degree from an Ivy League institution and a law degree. And you know what else? He didn't stop with that. He didn't stop with that. He built great businesses, put people to work, created life-saving drugs that transformed lives for people. Vivek Ramaswamy is a doer. He is a man of action. He wrote books and started calling out something that nobody else was willing to talk about, this insidious woke mind virus that was infecting our boardrooms and our classrooms. Vivek called it out when nobody else was willing to do that, and then he went out on the campaign trail and helped make Donald Trump the President of the United States and J.D. Vance the Vice President of the United States. This man has a bold and a courageous vision. And by the way, wait, and you're not going to get to meet her tonight, but soon I want you to get to know Apurva Ramaswamy. Dr. Apurva Ramaswamy is an amazing mother. She's an amazing wife to Vivek. She's an amazing physician, and she's going to be a great First Lady for the state of Ohio. So a lot of people have the title leader. A lot of people call themselves leaders. I'll tell you what, everybody that calls themselves a leader can point out where there are problems and maybe come up with some solutions. But it's a rare person, a rare leader that actually has the courage and the grit and the determination to bring those ideas to reality, to actually make a difference. Vivek is that kind of man. Let me explain it like this. When I served in the Army, there were leaders you followed because you had to, because they had more rank than you. And then there were those leaders, very rare leaders, that you followed because you wanted to. The kind of men and women that you would run through a wall for because they led by example, because they had courage of conviction. Vivek Ramaswamy is that kind of leader. What you're going to hear from him in a few minutes is a bold and a courageous plan to make Ohio that state of excellence, to make Ohio the safest and most prosperous state in the nation, to make sure that every young Ohioan growing up in this state has the birthright of great opportunity. So I've got some questions for you. Do you think that Ohio's best days are ahead? Do you think that Ohio can be great with courageous conservative leadership? Do you think that Vivek Ramaswamy is the man to do that? Well, I do too. And you know who else does? Donald J. Trump, who endorsed him last night. And I'm proud to offer him my endorsement. And I love the way President Trump does this. No halfway endorsements. Donald Trump talks about my complete and total endorsement. Yes. Well, I give Donald Trump my complete and total endorsement, but I give Vivek Ramaswamy my complete and total endorsement. He's a man that's going to transform Ohio. And so now I know that Mayor Miller taught you a little chant. Now it's time to get loud and to get rowdy and to welcome the next governor of the great state of Ohio, Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, 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 Vivek. Vivek.
But he's a fantastic guy, a very smart guy. He's got some tremendous ideas, and he's young. And he's got
Ladies and gentlemen, the next governor of the state of Ohio, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy. Come on up, Vivek.
Yeah, Vivek.
Ramaswamy.
Good to see you guys.
Can
we get an OH?
One of these big monsters, and he'll do
We're ready
a
to
great
do
job
this,
in any way
guys.
you can think of. So, Vivek,
I love
please.
this crowd in
Thank you
here. Look
very
at this
much.
bar.
Vivek is great. He's
I
really
love
great.
it.
But he wanted this, and I'll give him
My
full
man
credit
Lorenzo
for
here
it.
went to
I
a
will never
Cavs game.
allow
Any
the
Cavs
creation
fans in the
of a
house? Pretty
central
good
bank
season we're having.
digital currency.
He was quick. He's smart as hell. And he knew.
We got our man up there, President Trump. Give him a round of applause. Love that guy. Thank you. I'm grateful for the endorsement of President Trump last night. Came in right after we launched the campaign, and we are taking the country and this state to the next level. How about that? America's back, and it feels fantastic, all right? But we still have our work cut out ahead of us. In fact, we're just getting started. This is the celebration of the beginning. It's just the very end of the beginning. That's what this is. We started in my hometown of Cincinnati. We went to Columbus last night, all the way to Toledo and finishing up right here. I can tell Strongsville know how to throw a party. I like that. That's great. That's great. But we're celebrating the beginning of a new era in this state with a fresh, new generation of leadership. That's what's going to be required to take us forward. And I know we're celebrating tonight, but we're also going to talk about some serious issues we need to address as a state and as a country. Over the last 4 years, we went through a national identity crisis. Faith in God, patriotism, hard work, family. These things disappeared only to be replaced by these new religions of wokeism, transgenderism, climatism, COVIDism. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, brother. Never again are we going to shut down the public schools in this state and bend the knee to some Anthony Fauci knockoff. She owes them an apology for what she did. We got a lot of young people tonight. Our young people were hungering to be part of something bigger than themselves, to be an American. In the Biden years, we had a recruitment deficit in our U.S. military. Less than 16% of Gen Z under Biden said they were proud to be American. That's unacceptable, and that is why I spent the better part of the last year crisscrossing this country, working tirelessly to send Donald Trump back to the White House, and in November, America made the right choice. It was a fork in the road, and we chose the right path for the future of the country. Look at this now. We can feel the new energy, the enthusiasm, the verve in America. We're back, the pep back in our step. This is a good thing. I'm as optimistic as I have ever been right now for the future of the United States of America. We're on the cusp of a new golden age for the future of our country. A revival of conviction in what it means to be a citizen of this nation. What does it mean to be an American? It means we believe in merit and hard work. That you get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. That's why we're done with the DEI regime and affirmative action and group quotas, because we believe in merit. That is who we are. It means we believe in the rule of law. And I say this as the proud son of legal immigrants to this country. That means your first act of entering this country cannot break the law, and that is why we are sealing our southern border and ending the vile invasion of parts of our country. It's done. It means that the people we elect to run the government should be the ones who actually pass the laws, not unelected bureaucrats sitting in the D.C. bureaucracy or in Columbus, Ohio, for that matter either. It means that we as Americans are courageous, that we are brave, and when called upon, even heroic, to do what is right for our country in our hour of need. Those are the American ideals, the distinctly American spirit that won us the American Revolution And that is what Donald Trump is reviving as our 47th president. But it isn't a one-man job. It doesn't work that way. Thank you. If we are going to be saved, it is you. It is all of you. We have to step up and save ourselves. That starts with the states, actually. I believe Ohio is going to lead the way in our revival. We deserve a leader in this state who has a vision for Ohio. We deserve a leader in this state who revives our self-confidence and our conviction in Ohio. And that is why last night I announced, and tonight, closing this tour out, I will reaffirm that I am running to be the next governor of a great state at the heart of the greatest nation known to mankind. The state where I was born and raised. The state where we raise our two sons today. A state whose best days are still ahead. I am running to serve as your next governor of the great state of Ohio. Thank you, Strongsville. Thank you. Thank you. We will lead Ohio to be the top state in the country to start and grow a new business. We will lead Ohio to be the top state in the country to raise a young family. The top state in the country that gives our children a world-class education in math, reading, writing, critical thinking, and physical education. The top state in the country where we train our sons and daughters not to be victims but to be victors, to be competitive in a global economy. The state where we embrace capitalism and meritocracy without apologizing for our success. The state where we take a hatchet job to red tape, regulations, bureaucracy, and government overspending to unlock the sectors of the future from AI to semiconductors to aerospace. The state where people across this country will flock to instead of Texas and Florida. I will lead Ohio to be the state of excellence in America. Thank you. Thank you. Now, there are those who say, this is unrealistic. How could that be Ohio? You know what? It's not. In fact, it wasn't long ago that Ohio was that state in America. We got a lot of young people tonight. You'll recognize this. This thing irritates me. You see it on the internet from time to time. If somebody's saying something's old or something's out of touch, they'll say, only in Ohio. That irritates the heck out of me. Actually, it wasn't even the last century, the turn of the last century. People weren't making fun of Ohio. They were aspiring to be Ohio. We were the wealthiest state in the country, the third most populous state in the Union, the heart of the Industrial Revolution, an economic powerhouse in America, fertile farmland, great natural resources right underneath our ground. Proud of who we are, leading the way in industrial progress. 6 of the top 15 wealthiest cities in America were right here in Ohio. Toledo, where I just came from right now, we just drove from Toledo, was known as around the world as the glass city. It was the glass capital of the world. Akron was the rubber capital. Youngstown and Cleveland, we were the steel capitals of the world. My hometown of Cincinnati, we were known around the world as the Queen City, the consumer products capital of the world. Porkopolis, powering the food supply chain. We were the pioneers, the explorers, the unafraid, the people who no government or bureaucracy would dare stop from achieving the maximum of our potential. The state where Neil Armstrong and John Glenn gained the self-confidence to go to outer space. The state where the Wright brothers were raised before they took flight. We were the state of excellence in America, and we can be that state again because we have the same advantages we did back then the first time around. The same fertile farmland, the same great people ready to work hard for our state, embodying the culture of our country. The same Erie Canal to New York City. The same Mississippi connected all the way to the Ohio. The same geographic location at the heart of the greatest nation known to the history of mankind. With 60% of North America's population just a single day's driving distance of where we are right now. God has blessed our state with all of the gifts we could wish for to be the leading state in the United States of America. All we need to do is to start believing in ourselves as Americans and as Ohioans again. And you know what? We're going to make this a greater state than we have ever been in our history. We're headed big places as a state. We're just getting started. We're in the middle of a second industrial revolution in the world right now, and I believe Ohio will lead the way. You know what? If Silicon Valley led the way for the last 10 years in the American economy, it is going to be the Ohio River Valley for the next 10 years of the American economy. Maybe it's not rubber next time around. Maybe it is. But it's going to be the sectors of the future, too. From semiconductors to nuclear energy, from biotech to Bitcoin to our defense industrial base. The state where we use AI not to take jobs, but to make jobs through workforce training and education. This is my vision for our state. This is our modern-day Northwest Ordinance right here in Ohio. We're declaring it right here in Strongsville tonight. We are a conservative state. And it is time for us to be governed like one. I love you guys. You guys from around here. I love the energy. Thank you. It's going to carry us forward all the way here. Look at all the people in here. I love this. Great way to celebrate this tonight. USA. 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 We start right here in the heart of the USA. The heart of it all right here in Ohio. This is going to require a governor from a new generation of leadership. OH! A governor with fresh legs who's willing to run through any obstacle that stands in the way to do what is right for our state. We're going to have to make some changes. We better get ready for it. Buckle up. Anybody ready to abolish the income tax in Ohio? Because that's where we're headed on my watch. It is your money, not the government's. You deserve to keep what you earn. Anybody ready to bring down property taxes in this state? It's your land, not the government's. You shouldn't be paying property taxes that are the same as the interest and principal repayments on your mortgage. If you're doing that, it makes you feel like you're leasing your own land from the government. That's not American. And it's going to end. Anybody ready to end the wave of violent crime across the cities of the state? We're putting that to rest by letting police officers in this state actually do their jobs without fear of getting sued with the proper training needed to do it well. I get a little spice here. I'm feeling you guys tonight. This one's actually serious, but I'm going to give it to you. We're going to bring back the psychiatric hospitals and bring them back into existence. Because our jails should not be the form of mental health care in this state. You guys ready to bring back hard work in this state? We're going to reattach work requirements to welfare. Because we got to put people back to work in this state. You guys ready to slash, burn, and get rid of every iota of waste, fraud, abuse, regulation, bureaucracy, and government overreach? That's what we're doing under my administration. For every new regulation they try to put on the books, we are going to rescind at least 10 others, or that new regulation doesn't make it. 6 months for a new natural gas pipeline instead of 36 months like it is today. I want our state to be the top state in the country to start a business as an entrepreneur. The state of energy dominance, manufacturing dominance, AI dominance. The state where we're chasing our future and doing it with pride. This is not just about increasing our GDP numbers. I'm in favor of that, and we're going to do it under my watch. What'd you say? Oh, you're getting me interested, my man. You're teasing me here. We'll start with getting the state income tax down to zero. We'll start bringing down the property taxes, and let's work our way down. And you said, the guy said municipal taxes. Here's what we will do for your municipalities. At the very least, I'll give you this one, because this is part of our platform anyway, all right? I'll give it this to you. Every expenditure, not just the state, but every locality, county, and municipality will have to make their expenditures of your taxpayer dollars publicly available on the blockchain so you can actually see it. You at least deserve to see how every city is spending your money. That much you got out of me tonight, all right? We're committed. We're doing that in day one. This is about lifting up everybody in our state. It's not just about the GDP number. We don't want to be a state anymore where little league teams are shutting down because they can't find a local company to sponsor them. We don't want to be a state where a mom has to think twice before having that third or fourth kid for fear of a cost of a new stroller or buying a bigger car. We want to be a state where every parent, and I'm speaking as a father of 2 sons tonight, where every parent has that bone-deep conviction that their kids will go on to live an even better life than they did. That is the American dream, and it is our dream for Ohio. We will lead Ohio to become the state of economic excellence in America. What's that? Make Ohio great again. You're darn right we're going to do that, all right? That's exactly where we are. We were the greatest state in the country. We're about to be the greatest state in the country again. And the country's about to be the greatest country again, once again, to the rest of the world. All right, if America's the shining city on a hill, Ohio will be the beacon of light at its apex. That is my promise to you. And we're not just running from something, right? Biden's out. We kicked him out of a job where he belongs, all right? He's fired. He's long gone. He's ancient history. We forgot about him, but he also forgot about what happened, too. So, anyway, that's done. We're not just running from something anymore. Now we are running to something. We're running to our vision of greatness for this state. Now, let me give this to you, all right? If you care about somebody, you tell them the truth. If you care about yourself, you tell them what they want to hear. I'm going to give you the hard truth tonight. It's something that people I've found in both political parties don't like talking about very much. It's actually even, the teachers are a means to the end. It's about education. We have a crisis of home ec. Bring back basic financial education. We're going to talk about all of it. We have an educational crisis in this country. Neither major party's talking about it enough. We need to step up and actually do something about it. Here's some hard facts for you. It's not fun to talk about, but it's the truth. 75% of 8th graders are not proficient in math according to international standards. There are kids in other countries now where English is not even their first language doing better on English proficiency than our own kids here in the United States. That is unacceptable to me. As a parent, as an Ohioan, as an American, I refuse to just stand by and idly watch as China laughs at our gradual decay into oblivion. We're going to turn this ship around, and we're going to do it for the country starting right here in Ohio. I will lead Ohio to be the top state in the country and in the world where kids get a world-class education in math, reading, writing, and critical thinking and physical education. We're going to start by making sure our kids are safe in our schools. We're going to use our dedicated base of police officers. We got a few of you here tonight. Give our police officers a round of applause. Keeping us safe tonight, guys. We will back the blue and those who serve. They walked me in tonight. We're going to stand for those who protect us. We're going to put at least one of them in every school in this state with the proper training needed to be there. That's how we protect our children. We're going to make sure our kids show up to school, because never again are we going to shut down the schools like they tried to do several years ago. They owe an apology to our kids. We're going to stand for the achievement of our students, most importantly, from the classroom to the sports fields. Excellence in every domain. And I will lead Ohio to be the top state and the first state in our country to adopt the most basic common sense reform that hasn't been done anywhere in the land. We're going to be the first state where we implement merit-based pay for every teacher, every principal, every administrator, every superintendent, so you are paid for your performance in an actual meritocracy. That shouldn't be controversial. And let me be clear, I'm not going to start a fight with the teachers' unions unless we have to. But I will not back down from a fight if that is what is necessary to stand for the achievement of our students. I want to be clear about this. We have some great public school teachers. I had great public school teachers. Mrs. Kinney in 6th grade. There's a magnet school in Princeton Public Schools in Cincinnati. Robert E. Lucas Intermediate School. Sadly, it doesn't even exist anymore. The school shut down. She was a hero in my life. She helped me see in myself potential that I didn't know I had. She lit a fire under my feet. She told me to work harder. She helped see in me a possibility that allowed me to achieve the American dream. She was a great teacher. We honor her. She died in a tragic accident a few years ago. But we need more teachers like Mrs. Kinney. But we're not getting the very best anymore because there is no meritocracy in compensation. The best teachers in this state deserve to be paid a lot more than they're being paid right now. But that means we need to deal with the dead weight and the wasted costs as well. We're going to be a state where our kids deserve to be taught by the best educators from across the country. And when we adopt merit-based compensation on my watch, we're going to be a magnet for the best ones across our nation. And it's not just math and reading and writing. It's physical education, too. We're going to actually bring in PE starting in kindergarten. We're going to bring back the presidential fitness test, and that includes the pull-ups. All right? It's a good thing. Healthier food in our cafeterias. The best way to save in health costs in the long run is just have a healthier population in the first place. Not just physical health, but mental health, too. We will get the cell phones out of the classroom. The most basic common sense reform we can bring to our public schools. I'm loving the young energy tonight. 3-4 generations of people gathered together in this place to celebrate a vision for the future of Ohio. We're going to fill that void at the heart of a country. The fentanyl, the suicide, the opioids, the depression, the anxiety. No, it ends on my watch. We're done with that. We're turning the page and moving to our future. Filling that void with civic education, like you said, brother, that teaches our kids to be proud of our country and our state rather than ashamed of it. End the woke indoctrination and the victimhood psychology and bring back actual U.S. history, actual civics classes. Teach our kids what this country was all about. We're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance every morning in every school with a moment of silence to go along with it, to bring back our focus and remembering what we're grateful for every day as Ohioans and as Americans. And as your next governor, I'm going to bring some tough love too. Every high school senior who graduates from high school in our public schools will be required to pass the same civics test that every legal immigrant has to pass in order to become a voting citizen of this country. Because you can't love a country unless you know about that country in the first place. And most of all, we are going to empower every parent to choose where they actually send their kids to school by being the leader in America when it comes to school choice. Not Iowa, not Arizona, but the state of Ohio, making even homeschooling a viable option for every parent who desires it. This shouldn't be controversial. We want the best universities in the country to be right here in Ohio. My path to the American dream went through great universities. I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. I went to Princeton Public Schools through 8th grade. I went to St. X High School for high school. Any St. Ignatius guys here? Yeah. We used to compete. And so we got the long St. X guy right here. Long blue line, brother. Thank you. I went to Harvard for college. I went to Yale for law school. And you know what? My path to the American dream, I founded successful companies. My parents came here with nothing 45 years ago. I'm proud of that. I'm not going to do the fake thing where you denounce that as elite and somehow pretend. No, I'm proud of that. I think it's a great thing. The state allowed me to live the American dream. My wife lived the American dream. She's a cancer surgeon at the hospital, the James Hospital at Ohio State. She's a real hero in our family, by the way. She was taking care of patients today or she would have been here. She lived the American dream. So it's a beautiful thing. But we recognize that our path cannot be the only path either. As governor, I will stand for every kid in the state to also have a shot at a 2-year or a 1-year or a 6-month vocational degree that allows them to be a welder, a mechanic, a carpenter, a builder, a plumber with dignity and a path to the fullest version of the American dream. Earn while you learn programs as early as high school without occupational licensing requirements standing in the way, because you shouldn't have to take on crippling college debts to have a path to the American dream if that is your calling. I don't call these professions the trades. I call them professions because that is what they actually are. This isn't either or, it's both. It's all of the above. They're all elite because we are the state where the paths to success are plural, where every child has a shot at every path, whatever is right for every one of us. That is what a true meritocracy is about. America was built on the idea of meritocracy. A nation that recognized every one of you, every one of us, has our own unique God-given gifts, distinct from every other person in the world, and that we are the country where you get to use the maximum of your God-given potential without any man or any bureaucracy or any system standing in your way. That is what made America great the first time. That is how we'll make America great again. That is what made Ohio great the first time, and that is how we will make Ohio great again. That's where we're leading this state. We're going to put more green pieces of paper in your pocket. But it's not just about the green pieces of paper. The American dream is about more than that. It is about a revival of conviction in our purpose as citizens. My metrics of success as your next governor. You hold my feet to the fire on these metrics. It's going to be the number of people who move into our state rather than out of our state. It's going to be the number of kids born into families in this state. The more, the better. And the number of those kids who go on to remain in our state when they grow up to actually become adults so they can pursue the American dream without going to another state to do it. They should be doing it right here in Ohio. We're going to be the state in America where we make the American dream real, not through flowery language, but through action. The state where young people don't have to feel envious or spiteful towards somebody else for succeeding through capitalism, because they're participating in it in themselves along the way with real skin in the game. My message to my 2 sons who are at home tonight and to every son and daughter of Ohio is this. The American dream is your birthright. A world-class education is your birthright. Success is your birthright. Freedom is your heritage, and excellence is your destiny. This isn't a small vision for our state. This is a big vision. It is an ambitious vision because that is who we are as Ohioans and as Americans. We're not victims. We're victors. We don't whine. We win. That is who we are. I'm not some stuffed suit politician. I'm not a career politician. I'm a businessman who's lived the full American dream. You see any teleprompters here tonight? You're not going to see them for the rest of this campaign either. You don't like what I said? You can't blame my speechwriter because you're looking at him, all right? That's how we're going to keep it real the whole campaign. I'm an entrepreneur who has lived the full arc of the American dream, and I will fight every day to pass that American dream on to your generation and my kids' generation so they can climb and jump even higher. I will fight to the end for this state. I'm going to visit all 88 counties of our state this year. And we're going to go to all 88 counties next year. And I will visit all 88 counties every one of the 8 years that I serve as your next governor. We want to hear you, every one of you. Let's hear you, Strongsville. We're going to listen to you. Thank you. We're going to win the general election next year in a landslide. And here's what I want to do. I want to do to the general election in Ohio what we just did to the primary. All right? We're going to win this decisively in a way that unites our state. I want constitutional conservatives like me, more of us, to join this movement. I want Republicans of every kind. I want independents. I want libertarians. I want Reagan Democrats. I want other orphan Democrats. I want anybody who finds themselves politically homeless, who cares about excellence in our state, educational excellence and economic excellence. If you believe in those two things, we will have a place for you in this movement and a seat for you at the table. We're going to listen to you. Now, I want every Democrat in this state, I want every Democrat in Cleveland to Strongsville to Cincinnati, from the inner city of central Cleveland over the Rhine, to the foothills of Appalachia, wherever you are in this state, to Toledo where we came from earlier today. Every Democrat in this state to hear me loud and clear when I say this. We're not going to agree on everything, and that's okay. It's actually a beautiful thing. It's true diversity of thought. We love our diversity of thought in Ohio. But if you care about putting more money in your kids' accounts, if you care about your kids having the same shot at the American dream that this state gave me, that this country gave me, that this country gave the likes of Lorenzo, who's sitting right up here, Cleveland Cliff Steele right here, legal immigrant to this country, the same American dream that this country gave him. If you care about that, then we're on the same team. We want to work with you to take our state to the next level. I am so grateful for the wave of statewide and national endorsements we've already gotten. We're 24 hours into this campaign. We've already got President Trump on board. We got Elon Musk last night. Senators Rick Scott, Marsha Blackburn, Mike Lee, a bunch of others already jumping on this freight train. They know where this is headed. But also great leaders across Ohio. How about Robert Sprague earlier tonight? Love this guy, your state treasurer. He's going to be a great Secretary of State. Where's Frank LaRose? You hanging around here, Frank? There you go. Good to see you, man. Great Secretary of State, going to be a great state auditor. Christina Rogner. She's around here. She's great. She's going to be a bright future. Lorenzo, thank you for being here, man. It's not just going to be through government. It's going to be through the private sector, too, all right? This man believes in making steel in America. Anybody else share that belief with him? I heard Cleveland used to do it. How about Cleveland Cliffs right now? We got to be proud of who we are. Now, to the extent we have a primary this year, I mean this when I say this. I embrace it. I welcome it. Competition, in the end of the day, actually, it breeds innovation. I will work with anybody in this state, even those who run against me, to help take our state to the next level, because even my strongest opponents are going to have ideas worthy of our consideration, and we're going to consider them. We invite, and that's my message for you guys tonight. You're here because presumably you'd like us to win this election. Let me hear you. So you're with us. Those are the people in this room. But what I'm asking you all to do tonight is, when you're driving home tonight, or maybe not when you're driving, after you get home tonight, you think of 5 people in Northeast Ohio, anywhere else in Ohio, who you think may not agree with us. And I want you to call them. I want you to tell them that they have a seat at this table, as long as they care. If they don't care about economic excellence or educational excellence, they can find somebody else. Go vote for the Democrat in this election. But if you care about those two things, I don't care what letter you put after your last name. I don't care what your race is. I don't care what your gender is, your sexuality. I don't care what your religion is. If you're an Ohioan and you care about economic and educational excellence for your team, your state, then you are on this team. Bring 5 people. Every one of you, you do that tonight. We're starting a movement that cannot be stopped in this state. We don't have to be a state in decline. We don't have to be a nation in decline. We are still a state in our ascent, still on our way up, still on our way to that shining city on a hill. that country where we will look our kids in the eye and mean it when we tell them that you get ahead in the state of Ohio with your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication. And that you know what? You are free to speak your mind loud and clear at every step of the way. That is the American dream. That is what we are running to. And so you know what? 10 years from now, when I'm done after 2 terms as governor, when we're sending manned rockets to Mars, when we're powering our electric grid with nuclear energy, when we're curing previously incurable diseases, you know what they're going to say then? Only in Ohio. You guys got it. Thank you. God bless you and your families. May God bless our United States of America, and may God bless our great state of Ohio. Our best days are still ahead of us. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Strongsville. Love you guys. USA, 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 OH. Let's go. Thank you. Our bikers for Trump. Thank them.